Having children is expensive. But I don't think primordial parents Gaia and Uranus were quite prepared for the colossal cost of designer sunglasses Mythology's ugliest triplets, the Cyclops, could potentially request. That's right, the 3 bouncing giant baby singular eye socket possessing monstrosities were the famed brother and sister diddling duo's first set of kiddies. Brontis, Steripes, and Argus were their names, and unreasonably long staring contests was their game. Undoubtedly Mythology's most recognisable trio of unibrow-having leviathans, they would be famed as much for their leering appearance as they would their physical prowess and craftsmanship. Their renowned extreme point of focus was said to be in the very centre of their forehead, an intimidating sight and a strategic advantage for any direct oncoming attack, but not so helpful in their periphery. Their depth perception was also about as beneficial in battle as Achilles' ankle socks, not to be confused with other Cyclops of Greek mythology, the blink and you'll miss them killing you types. No, these gargantuan go-getters each possessed great skill, and whilst they certainly may have had violence in their hearts, were far more revered for their work in forging mighty weapons and powerful objects, with just a touch of penis aside for good measure, but more on that later. Brontis, Argus, and Steripes, whose names meant thunder, flash, and bright, were not in fact the inspiration for cartoon ponies, but were exceptionally talented creators of such items as Zeus's thunderbolts, Poseidon's trident, and Hades' helmet of invisibility. Mavericks of metallurgy indeed. Not only were they the first hatchlings of the earth and sky, but they would become the elder siblings of other, interesting-looking creatures, whom, thanks to their primordial parentage, are so frighteningly awesome they sure as shit deserve their own episodes, namely the mighty Titans and the Hectonicaris, or 100-handed ones, back when mass strength and bitch slaps weren't just threats but a promise, goddammit. Anyway, back to the Blinky Boys. With their power of creation and divine attributes, they, over time, grabbed their marble cojones and set about the audacious task of overthrowing their own deity daddy Uranus, with the help of one of their Titan bros, Uranus. You see, Uranus wasn't overly fond of his children, almost as if he had the gift of foresight, because before they became BFFs with the Olympians, Uranus imprisoned the big-eyed boys, their Titan siblings, and the Hectonicaris in Tartarus, the inescapable holding cell designed to keep his monstrous offspring away from sight. His hatred brings all the boys to the yard, apparently. Gaia, being Mother Earth, held deep within her, according to Hesiod, Tartarus itself. So a reverse birth situation? Ouch. Now, to the aforementioned gonadicide. Thanks to his unresolved issues with his younglings, creating some restuffing tension with his mother wife Gaia, Uranus' days were numbered. Gaia had had enough. She gave this ungrateful git 18 powerful children, and he had to go all jelly on them. They'll overthrow me. Meh. They're powerful and gross. Meh. He was, of course, in fine mythological tradition, bang on the money. With the help of Kronos and the Cyclops, her inner kiddies, Gaia set about orchestrating Operation Manual Labour. Arming Kronos with an adamantium sickle, which is Greek for badass blade, she beckoned her sky daddy, sun brother, whatever, to bed for ironically some baby making. And before the monster mash could take place, Kronos struck his father right between his olives and branch, castrating his pop rocks from under him. They didn't kill Uranus, but subdued him somewhat. He had to watch as his son threw his heavenly orbs into the sea below, giving rise to, well, that's a story for another day, as is the one about how the Cyclops helped perform a coup de god against the Titans, their own kin, because that's just how they got down, apparently.